Hey New City, and welcome back to the $5 Give Club, where we believe that through small amounts, we can make a huge impact. I'm currently standing in Cross Point Community Church, where I was able to sit down with the lead pastor, Randall, and his wife, Amber, as they share the story of their granddaughter, Georgia May. As we look around during the Christmas season, joy is everywhere, but the reality is that people and families are walking through unthinkable pain. We cannot wait to share with you their story of what it looks like to have hope in the midst of suffering and how your generosity made an impact this month. So we're sitting here with my new friends Randall and Amber. Randall is the pastor here at Cross Point Church in Knightdale, and they have an incredible story, something that I think is going to be very encouraging. Might be difficult to hear, but nevertheless encouraging. And so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves a little bit.
I'm Amber, as you said, and I'm Randall's wife.
My name's Randall, and we started our church here at Cross Point 13 years ago, and so that's been quite a journey. So
Yeah.
I love what you guys are doing.
So tell us a little bit about these last few months in your lives, your daughter's life. What's that been like?
So one Friday, August the 3rd, we were having dinner. I was cooking for those that were coming, and about the time everybody was supposed to show up, we got sort of a phone call from my daughter, who said that our granddaughter, Georgia May, she said she's not felt well, she's not acting right. So eventually they decided to take her to the doctor, and then they sent them to the emergency room, and then the emergency room sent them to Chapel Hill. The tests started coming back, and that sort of began our journey.
Within, I'd say 24 hours, we had a diagnosis of high-risk neuroblastoma,
So
which is, stage 4 cancer. And, so processing that and just wrapping our mind around this precious 4-year-old child that we loved so dearly.
Yeah, and what would you say? Because someone hearing this, and maybe someone walking through this themselves, might look at a situation like Georgia May's and look at God and say, how can that God be loving? How have you wrestled through that? What would your answer be for not just your own lives, but for someone maybe asking that question? I don't feel God's love because there's no way that a loving God could let this happen. What would your answer be?
Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us that His plans for us are for good, not to harm us. And so how do you appropriate neuroblastoma, your grandkid? And we had bargained. I have done all the bargaining. I've done all the praying. God, give it to me, and heal her. And we really do believe God's going to heal her. But more than that, we believe God is up to something good with this. And so as we walk through, quite honestly, a painful journey, we know that God uses pain not to get us attention, not to garner sympathy, not to simply punish people who do good and then good things happen, bad things happen. But God uses the appropriate amount of things in our life, and perfectly well, to teach us and to shape us. He knows exactly what we need in order for us to be what He needs us to be. But it is shaken us at times, quite honestly.
Yeah.
It just has.
How can we be praying as a church, as people who hear this story? How can we be praying for your family?
Well, obviously we would like for people to continue to pray for healing,
Yeah.
complete healing.
Yeah.
So, we ask that, again, the obvious things, but also we really want lives to be changed. We don't, if at the end of the day, we can see people that have come to Christ because of it, how beautiful is that? I personally cannot explain why God does and allows things like this to happen, but every day I wake up, every day since August the 3rd, and I have just had to ask God to renew my joy and my faith every day, and He does.
Yeah.
And there's days that are hard, and I've had days where I've been angry. I'm not gonna lie, and if y'all need to edit that out, I understand. They're not all joyous days. They're not all happy days. But honestly, at the end of the day, we know whose we are, and we know that He has her, and that He has a plan, and that none of this caught Him off guard or by surprise. None of it.
And that's what makes this whole thing incredible, is that in the face of something that I think is the most unimaginable, I don't think you would have ever thought that your family would have been in this situation. It's kind of where our faith meets, I guess, where the rubber meets the road.
It's real life.
What does my faith in real life, when they collide, what does that look like? And I think your story is encouraging. It's full of hope, even though it's in dark times right now. And we wanted to film this because we believe that you are going to encourage a lot of people. You're already doing that through, Pray for Georgia May. We see that on Facebook, and people are keeping up. I think you'll have like 18,000 people following Georgia May's story on Facebook. So there's a lot of encouragement coming through this. And so we wanted to hear your story, share your story with our church and with our people. But even more so than that, we wanted to tangibly support y'all. And so once we heard your story, we have something at New City called the $5 Gift Club, where we invite everybody at New City to give an additional $5 or $10 on top of their monthly offering. And once we heard your story, we knew that y'all had to be the recipients. And so more than hearing your story, we wanted to tangibly show y'all a way that you don't even know us, but we want to help you however we can. And so I know you have a GoFundMe going for Georgia May right now, but this is our largest gift club to date at New City. And so we have a check for $800. Whatever this looks like for y'all, towards the family, for medical bills for Christmas, however this can help, this is for you.
Well, thank you.
Sweet. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Well, thank you for this show of
so
generosity.
kind.
That's been very, very kind. We feel like He's creating a story, His story, in the middle of her life that we get sort of in the splash zone of. And so we really are excited about how God's going to use this and what He's going to do in her. We think it's going to completely redirect her life in a great way. It can't help but do that.
Yeah.
Once she comprehends the story of what God's doing. So thank you again. This is crazy generous. So thank you, your church, and so we're just blown away.